Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to F1 24, my driver career mode for the third episode for the Australian Grand Prix. This one's going to have to be a bounce back episode after what happened in Saudi Arabia. If you guys have watched that episode, or even if you have not, just a quick recap. We did really well in our first stint. We were up there fighting for P2. Unfortunately, after we made our pit stop, we tried to do a one-lap undercut. We went onto the hard compound tires, while everyone else went onto the softer compound, whether it was the medium or the softs. And unfortunately, we did not have the pace we did on the first stint, and we went backwards, and with only a handful of laps to go, we got tagged in the rear of the car by Lance Stroll in the Aston Martin. Who else? And that caused a crash into the wall that ended our day with 0 points. Lando Norris went on to win that race just as he did in Bahrain, so he leads the championship over Max Verstappen, 50 points to 34. McLaren leapfrogged Red Bull in the Constructors' Championship. They now lead both championships with Lando Norris and McLaren atop of both championships. For us, the DNF puts us down to P8 in the drivers. However, with Lewis finishing P5, still getting some points for the team, we still remain in 4th place in the Constructors. However, we want more. So, hoping for a bounce-back race weekend here in Australia. Let's get it going. Alright, here we go, Australia. One-shot qualifying. And a little wall tap in the final corner. Still qualifying in the top 10. P7. Not bad. We are once again beaten in qualifying by our teammate, 7-time champion Lewis Hamilton. Max Verstappen finally gets his first pole position of 2024. He beats out Lando Norris by 0.3 of a second. We'll see if that can go on to his race pace, or if Lando Norris will make it a hat trick with 3 wins in a row to start the season. Behind the front 2, it's Oscar Piastri in the second McLaren and Charles Leclerc in P4. And right in front of us, it will be Lewis Hamilton and Sergio Perez. Alongside us, it will be Carlos Sainz starting P8, we start P7, and then it's the 2 Aston Martins, 9th and 10th, Fernando Alonso and Lance Stroll. Let's head straight into the Grand Prix. Alright, starting P7, got Max Verstappen and Lando Norris at the front. Here we go. Sergio on the mediums. If we have a good start, we could get past the Red Bull. It's lights out, and away we go. Sergio gets the better launch than us. If we can try to sneak around the outside of Leclerc. Lando Norris down to P5 from P2. He did not have a good start. We do get past the Ferrari. Now trying to get past the McLaren. From the outside to the inside, we force Lando out of road. It's a clean move, and we're up into the top 5. Lewis is up into P2. Max Verstappen has taken a bit of a gap lead in P1. We're chasing after the other Red Bull of Sergio Perez. Lewis Hamilton fighting Oscar Piastri for that second place. Piastri has gotten past our teammate. We're right up behind Sergio Perez. We're going to make the move. Up into P4 and behind our teammate. Going to try to stay up with Lewis, and maybe we can try to get both cars past Piastri and up onto the podium. Purple first sector. Clearly the car has some pace. Lewis going for the move on Piastri. Oh, we went for it too, but Piastri came down onto us, and Sergio with the absolute bargy move. It was a late move on Piastri. We were reacting to the move that Lewis made, trying to get ahead of Piastri, and Oscar just, I don't know if he didn't realize we were there or what, but he came across us. Lucky we were able to save that, because if we weren't able to save that, it could have ended our race very, very early. So now, just trying to get back into the rhythm, try and chase after Lewis again. We got Sergio within 0.6 of a second of us, so he'll have DRS. That's lovely. And there goes the Red Bull. Not sure if I have damage or not from that contact, but the car does not feel as good as it did last lap. Now Lando Norris going for a move. Late braking. We go back ahead of Sergio Perez. That is actually not what I wanted to do, because now Sergio will once again have DRS.
We're approaching the pit window and you're going to be on mediums.
It's not what I asked, Mark. Mark, answer me. That's twice I asked him for vehicle condition and he's just been silent. Well, actually, no, he wasn't silent the first time. He said, "We're nearing the pit window, you're going to be on mediums." So I don't want to make the same mistake I did in Jeddah, but unfortunately, it's just really close right now. That Red Bull has a lot of pace to it, and we don't have much battery, and there's unfortunately not really anywhere we can save the battery.
Okay, be aware, the grip level's going to start falling away soon. Pitting this lap then, coming to the pits at the end of this lap.
I know I just said I don't want to make the same mistakes as we did in Jeddah, but I think this is the only way we got. We can have a good stop here, and we don't. That is unfortunate.
Okay, we had an issue attaching the left rear wheel. I know it's not ideal, but let's try and put that behind us now.
Not ideal at all, Mark.
These tyres now and want to finish the race.
Not ideal at all. It's a very hard pit exit also to keep the pace up. So once again, we're doing good in the first stint. Let's see how the second stint goes. We have some extra battery. And the car is just getting bounced around. That's not ideal because that... Great, thanks Mark. That's lovely. So that's exactly what I need. Yep. Damaged the front wing.
Okay, take it easy on the car. We can't sustain this level of damage.
Please, Mark, shut up. Honestly, at this point, if we can get some points, I'll be happy. Still early in the year. The car is still not that great. Good for Lewis for being up in P2 at the moment. He's got a good gap to Checo in third. But yeah, as you can see, Mark, I need you to stop. Like, we're not getting a 121 with this damage. Car's damaged. It is not in ideal shape. You can see it right now. It is not turning the way we want it to be. That's not good for these street circuits.
Ocon, stop it now. Nice work, you smashed it. Really good job on hitting that target, mate.
And we have made the same mistake. We are out behind a lot of cars that were all behind us. If I'm gonna be honest, I think it was because of the damage. And Albon, you bum. Don't you dare.
Good job, nice overtake.
Albert Park has never been a strong suit for me against the AI. Unfortunately, it's
Lewis is in the pits now.
not going good today with damage to the car. I don't know what is going on with these second stints. The car feels great in the start of the race, but then it just feels like it gets so bad in the second half. And I don't know how Albon's this close to me right now. We are back up into the points. Right behind Oscar Piastri and Sergio Perez. We're going to make a late move on Piastri. Kind of hits us again.
ERS is low, ERS is low. Consider changing mode on your MFD.
Mark, I really need you to shut your mouth.
Recharge it.
We get to open DRS for the first time this entire Grand Prix. And it's chasing after Sergio Perez.
On Leclerc. Okay, they're slowing down. It seems like there's some kind of problem with their car.
So a problem for Charles Leclerc, and he's holding up the two other drivers ahead of us, being Fernando Alonso and Lando Norris. Sergio Perez is making some erratic defensive moves that I'm not very happy about. I feel like I could have made a couple of moves, but wasn't able to because of his erratic maneuvers defensively. And now we're going to get boxed in by the Mexican going defensive again. We do get past Sergio Perez now up into P6, one place higher than our starting position. Lando Norris has gotten past Charles Leclerc. Fernando Alonso still stuck behind the Ferrari. We have a chance to get into the top 5 with Charles Leclerc's power problem. We make a dive bomb on Fernando Alonso. He is the man we want to beat. Aston Martin is the team we want to beat right now. We can beat both Ferraris, which currently we are with us getting past Charles Leclerc, and that will hopefully give us some breathing room with Leclerc's issue, but with our front wing damage, it's going to be difficult. We're just going to have to play defense now. 6 laps to go here in Albert Park. Lando Norris, I think he's out of the question. I don't think we're going to be able to get this podium unless some sort of miracle happens in front of us. Or maybe even if a safety car or red flag. Hey, if a red flag comes out, then we can fix the damage to the front wing. That's all I'm saying. Perez has gotten past Charles Leclerc. Max Verstappen has a big lead over Lewis Hamilton. We are trying to stay ahead of Sergio Perez. And you know what? You wanted to make erratic maneuvers? There's an erratic maneuver for you. You race me one way, I'm going to race you that same way. I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're a teammate or a bitter rival. You race me one way, that's the way you're going to get raced back. I think I gave Sergio some damage. Sure, yeah, because this is such an easy track to... Sergio just blew right past us. Mate, I can't. If you want me to keep the position, then I can't save ERS. Mark, I don't know what you're thinking. No, Sergio's gone. Even with DRS and ERS deployed, he's pulling away. I think Sergio's gone. I think best we can do is P5. Darn it. This race, man. I wasn't expecting anything great, but especially when we got the front wing damage. But it's so minor, like, you can barely see it on the mini display, so I'm not fully understanding why we're so much. I mean, I understand it's also a Red Bull, but the lack of grip going on right now. So we make a very erratic dive bomb. Now we have Oscar Piastri joining us.
Okay, so gap to the car ahead, 7.8 seconds.
Run Sergio wide a little bit. We are trying to hold off what is almost 6 cars at the moment. The moment everyone gets past Charles Leclerc, they're going to catch up to us. There is no question about that. We need to hold these guys off for 2.5 more laps. And the first 2 in line are the quickest cars on the grid. It's the second drivers for each team, but still the 2 fastest cars on the grid.
The track is clear. Green flag.
We have a yellow flag behind us. Looks like a V-carb. Yuki Tsunoda is out. Fortunately, I don't think we're gonna get a safety car, and once again Sergio Perez has gotten past us.
Okay, unlucky, mate. That wasn't quite.
I need you to stop asking me to do ERS management, Mark, because it's not gonna work. It's just not gonna work. This is not a track you can easily do that, especially if you're trying to, especially when you're battling other cars, which I am, and then you add in the fact that we have damage that's slowing us down. Sergio Perez, I hate you. Oscar Piastri gets past us. Not for long. I am not letting I'm not exactly fine letting Sergio beat me. I don't like it, but I am definitely not letting Piastri beat me. Because if you think back on it, him hitting me
Okay, mate, this is the final lap of the race. Final lap.
and sending me sideways, that was what triggered this entire event. So no, I'm not gonna let Oscar pass. We're on the final lap now. Just have to survive this lap, and we'll get our second top 5 of the season. Lewis Hamilton has got Lando Norris chasing after him. I think he's got a big enough gap to where he will be able to take P2. But someone we've not talked about since earlier at the start of the race, he sees the checkered flag for the first time. Max Verstappen and Red Bull wins the Australian Grand Prix. We look at us now coming through. It was a messy race, but we are able to come across the line. P5.
Alright,
So Mercedes 2-5 with Lewis coming in P2. I'd say, despite the issues with the damaged front wing, it was a good race. Here we are. Max Verstappen wins for the first time and cements himself as the challenger for the title against Lando Norris.
The drivers are en route to the podium as we speak. What a fantastic win for the Red Bull team. They performed exceptionally today, keeping us firmly on the edge of our seats throughout the entirety of the race. Congratulations to everybody at the team.
Good to see Lewis up there. Good for the team. So that will do it for the Australian Grand Prix.
Fantastic weekend of racing. Thanks to everyone who joined us, and we'll see you for the next one.
As we look at the driver standings, Lewis shoots up from 10th up to 4th. And Lando. So yes, Max Verstappen cements himself as the title challenger to Lando Norris. 5 points between them. Good for Lewis. He leapfrogs up to P4 like I already said. In the Constructors, Red Bull take back the lead in the Constructors over McLaren by 7 points. But look at this. With both of us, mostly Lewis's P2, but with both cars beating both Ferraris, we leapfrog Scuderia Ferrari and move up into P3 in the Constructors, only 38 points behind McLaren. It's still early in the year, so that gap could either shrink or grow. We'll have to see how the season continues. It's a dominant win for Max Verstappen. Well done to the Dutchman. We will see you in the next one. Thank you for watching. If you have enjoyed this episode, don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that little bell, get notified whenever I post new videos, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye!